Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special edition of the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. It's special in the fact that it's a wonder that we're on the air right now. My name is Johnny Bottles, the man to my left, deep in the bowels of stately Wayne Manor, locked in his ranting room, Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist.
I am here, but I don't see Ron. Ron is not here. I can confirm that right now.
Ron, 8675309.
Ron, number bot guy, is not here. Guys, if you have not been on Twitter the last couple of days, you have missed what I can only describe as a complete and total shit show meltdown of epic proportions. It has been phenomenal to watch, and I don't mean AJ Styles.
Right. Absolutely.
We're going to get to all that and more, but first I want to cover Saturday night's main event that just happened this past Saturday. And I'll tell you what, man, for a show that I was not expecting to excite me, it met my standards because it sure shit did not excite me. Good God, man. Come on, man. Do better than that. We ended up with a no contest between Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. Match never got started.
One of the best things on the show, I think.
I just didn't care for this Saturday night's main event at all. It just sort of fell flat. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being hard on the product. But Sami Zayn winning is like my worst nightmare for this Royal Rumble Championship match we're going to get stuck with now.
Yeah.
You were thrilled, I can tell.
So that would it have hurt for Randy Orton to be in that position? Would it?
You're killing me because that's what I think most fans wanted to see, is an old school Randy Orton trying one last time to get that one last magical wrestling match out of him, to get one last title run.
And what's wrong with that?
Apparently everything, pal. Apparently everything, because it killed me watching it. What else do we have on that show? AJ Styles beat Shinsuke Nakamura, which I want to talk. I guess we should talk about AJ Styles now a little bit more in depth. Because we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble later, but there's been some really late breaking developments with AJ Styles. You mentioned it to me first. We don't know if it's true or not. This is just the rumblings of the IWC, but there is a real possibility AJ Styles' career ends this Saturday. Like, this is it. This is the end of the line. We don't get to see him anymore. I don't know how much of that is true, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt, he is gearing up for whatever's coming next. He went out and AJ Styles filed trademarks for his name, for the Phenomenal One, for a bunch of his trademark stuff that he has already, his intellectual property, if you will.
Did you know that he already had that trademark? He just renewed it.
Yes, I did know that.
Yes, he just came out with that today. I saw online. He said that he owns the trademarks. He owns the logo. He licenses out to the companies that he works for.
Now, I'm not saying that's not a big deal because he's apparently signed an exclusive offer with WWE for the future of his name to get merch out there or whatever. But I just want to talk about this real quick because in the past couple of weeks, it's almost like AJ Styles has been checking every block on what I want to do on my way out the door in rapid succession. Rapid succession. He wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura this past Saturday night's main event out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't like a lead up to it. It was just a match he wanted to have on his way out the door. He got to face John Cena.
That was one of his buddies from New Japan Pro Wrestling when he was down there.
He wanted to see John Cena, so he got that match a couple of months ago. He wanted to face, this past Monday, for example, right? This was like and I want to talk about, I guess we can intertwine Raw this a little bit instead of going, order by order. But out of nowhere, we got an AJ Styles versus CM Punk championship match out of nowhere. Just not advertised for the show, nothing. Just it's suddenly here. And now this Saturday, he's having his retirement championship match, or his retirement or win match, I guess, versus the Madman.
The Career Killer. They copyrighted that also. Career Killer.
Did they really?
Yes, they did for Gunther. Yes.
please, and don't at me about Gunther not being great. He's freaking absolutely amazing. I don't want to hear that shit anymore. Gunther is amazing. Now we'll talk about him in a little while.
Oh, he's bland. He's just a guy. He's not ripped. He's a big guy. He chops a lot. He's a technical. He sucks on promos.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
His fingers aren't orange. Go ahead.
That's their biggest complaint, I think.
Probably, yes.
I just want to touch on the AJ thing real quick to start the show because it was such a big story this week in that you read somewhere that he told Nakamura this was it.
I've got it right here. I got it right here. I got a screenshot because I don't have Instagram. And this is a screenshot from Instagram. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's a diary he wrote. In fact, the title of it is The Diary I Wrote the Day Before. So he wrote this on Friday. And
who's he?
Shinsuke Nakamura to his Instagram. During last year's Australia tour at a house show in Melbourne, AJ gave a speech after the match. Listening to it, it was clear he was thanking the fans, but somehow it also felt like he was hinting that retirement might not be that far away. The tour continued in Japan, and before the shows there, I asked him something. We were in a van on the way to the meet and greet. I asked him, when are you going to retire? He answered, the Royal Rumble, I've already decided. Whether I said it out loud or just thought for a split second, I'm not sure, but I remember clearly. Before you retire, I want to wrestle you one more time. And AJ nodded yes. So basically, he talks about going back to his first ever singles match in the Tokyo Dome 2016 versus AJ Styles. And he just talked about how great the guy was. We never talked about our futures with each other, blah, 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 blah. And he said, I still have some regrets about what happened after our WrestleMania match, but the final match of that rivalry, our singles match at Money in the Bank in Detroit, is one of my favorite matches even. So he's straightforward. He's easy to read, impossible to hate. His everyday clothes are terrible. And he's got that Southern American accent. What a lovely American he is. And yet when it comes to professional wrestling, his balance of expression and technique is the best in the world. Truly one of a kind. I don't say it out loud, but I rely on him. I respect him. And even though we don't actually know each other as deeply as people might think, to me, he's special. Almost like a brother and a best friend in my own way. And now our final match awaits. My last chance to give him the perfect send-off. Do your best, me. And pro wrestling gods, please be kind.
Okay. Yeah,
so it's right from the horse's mouth, basically, is what Shinsuke is.
Well, that's what he's saying. So I don't know if he's working the fans or what's going on, but it sure as hell feels like a lot of these matches got put together on the way out the door to me. That's how it feels. I don't know if you saw the aftermath of Raw when he being AJ Styles and CM Punk met in the ring and thanked each other and said, hey, it's been a pleasure to work with you and blah, blah, blah. So
sure,
it sure as hell feels like he's walking out the door after Saturday. Do you think he's leaving?
I think that, well, he's in the Royal Rumble. He's in the Royal Rumble match, supposedly. And he's also wrestling Gunther that night. So
I haven't seen his name in the Rumble. I haven't seen that. So, by the way, Glenn, thank you much.
For, what is it, a 10 spot? 20 spot.
Glenn Taylor.
Thank you so much, Glenn. AJ's go down on his own terms, hopefully. Hopefully he is, but it would be amazing. I heard months ago in 2025, we said on the show that his contract is supposed to expire at the end of February of 2026. So he's done. No WrestleMania for AJ Styles. Wouldn't it be funny? I mean, what if you're AJ Styles, wouldn't it be, and they're telling everybody that he's telling everybody he's retiring at the Royal Rumble. So everyone's thinking, okay, Gunther's going to win this match. It's going to be a great match, but Gunther's going to win. We know what's going to happen. Big send-off at the Royal Rumble. What if it's a swerve? Not Strickland.
It'd be a good one.
It'd be a great swerve. What if he actually beats Gunther? Or if it's a big schmoz and Gunther gets disqualified? It's not a no disqualification match.
That's true.
And then they meet in the Royal Rumble. And what if AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble? And that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go to WrestleMania because there's an Elimination Chamber coming up. You're not going that far.
I'm not going that far. No.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think this is it. I think he's walking out the door after Saturday. I think he's done. Glenn, how you been, buddy, by the way? Good to see you again. Appreciate you. By the way, everybody, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Super Chat's open.
When I say, Don, let me clarify one thing before you go on. When I say, what if he wins the Royal Rumble? It's just hypothetically speaking. That's all it is. Hypothetically, if they're trying to swerve people, what if he actually beats Gunther and doesn't retire? And what if he's the second guy left in the ring in the Royal Rumble? Braun Breaker throws him out, or somebody throws him out.
Well, I want to talk about what I think will have the Royal Rumble a little bit. The studs, you do this, but I'm tongue-tied.
The Stun SCSA for a Canadian 5 spot. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your support for the channel. Crazy, we did AJ and Punk as they had heat back in the 2000s. This is why Punk never signed with TNA and went to Ring of Honor. I didn't know that. I didn't either. I did not either. I'm not surprised. God knows those guys have two very different lifestyles. I mean, they couldn't be any farther apart on the spectrum. The one match that always bothered me we never got was Punk and Stone Cold. After all those promos they did back and forth, and then it went nowhere. That'll always bother me. Right.
And by the way, yes, the Royal Rumble is like at noon or is it 2:00 this Saturday?
Yeah, pre-shows at noon, where you get to hear Peter Rosenberg and Big E and Jackie Redmond kibitz back and forth across the desk. So,
I don't do pre-shows. That's not my thing.
No.
I don't understand pre-shows in wrestling. Like, that's the one thing I don't get at all. I've never understood it. I don't get it now. I just miss the days when you would go live and be like, you're looking at the Royal Rumble right now. Holy shit.
90,000 people here.
At least, and God forbid, thank God they don't go through the card line by line on who's in the Rumble like they used to, where you would just hear Vince McMahon screaming his head off. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Hulk Hogan, Nikita Koloff, just all that shit, just 30 names, just going crazy.
Did you see Hacksaw Jim Duggan on social media with that little? He said it was a 10-minute video. It was a pilot for a cooking show he's doing. He was making some kind of chili.
What the hell is that?
I'm going. What in God's name is going on here?
That's one thing I don't need is Hacksaw Jim Duggan teaching me how to cook chili. Keep that shit off my TV.
You know, there was a pilot maybe about 20 years ago, 15, probably 20 years ago, when the network first arrived, the WWE network. Was it 20 years ago when that came out? I don't know. Big Show, Cooking with the Big Show was the name of it.
I don't remember this at all.
It was it never saw the light of day. They taped a half-hour cooking show with the Big Show.
I have no idea. You're taking me down a rabbit hole of something I never want to see again if it ever happened. I've never seen it, don't want to see it. So I'm sort of big on that. This match does have my general curiosity because I have no idea where this is going to go. So
I like being surprised. I like being surprised. I like being surprised who's going to be on the Royal Rumble, what stars from the past are coming on the men's Rumble and the women's Rumble. Triple H says there's going to be a lot of surprises. I want to be surprised if someone interferes in that Gunther AJ match and they have a third match because if the ref threw it out or what have you, or Pierce threw it out. Just curious as to what's going to happen. And what if they
talk about the Rumble in a minute.
What they tease us to the very end.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
All right.
We'll talk about it in just a minute.
I just love being surprised, which is something you don't get from the other wrestling show. You don't get surprises. When you look at the card that they put out every Tuesday or Monday before they have their big show, or Wednesday nights, and you say, this guy's going to win, this guy's going to win, he's losing. I mean, just to tease our Dynamite
I'm glad
review.
You're saying this. This leads
Kenny Omega versus Rocky Romero. Now, who's going to win that match? Jesus H.
I'm glad you said this because this brings to mind once again Dave Meltzer out there spouting off at the mouth, losing his shit. 6 days ago, Dave Meltzer put out Tommaso Ciampa indicated his plan is to go back to working independent shows after the WWE. There is talk of him trying to get into New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wait. 3 days ago, Dave Meltzer couldn't wait to put this out there. New Japan officially announced Evil leaving. Not announced, but he's headed to WWE for sure. This guy is such an ass kisser of Tony Khan's. It's utterly absurd. Every fan and their mother said, we said it last week, Tommaso Ciampa is almost certainly going to end up at AEW. Guess who debuted last night on AEW?
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. So Dave can kiss my ass, man. He knew this was coming. He plays favorites. He acts like he doesn't, and he calls it down the middle. This is another dead spot on moment where Dave Meltzer chose a side. He tries to put out all the spoilers he can for the WWE. He tries to put all of them out. He's no longer a reporter, right? That ship has sailed a long time ago.
He's not.
He is now just a straight on fanboy.
I was just about to say the word fanboy. Absolutely, he is a straight-on fanboy. Tommaso Ciampa couldn't wrestle every week in WWE. Well, how come they're not on TV? How come Ciampa's not on TV? Because his neck shot. He had major neck surgery in NXT.
He's had a couple of major surgeries.
Yes, and if you saw what they put in that man's neck, it looks like you go to Advanced Auto Parts and buy a set of brake pads. That's what it looks like they've got bolted to that guy's neck. It was bad, and he's lucky that he can actually get up and walk around and wrestle. He's probably not supposed to be wrestling the frequency he was wrestling in WWE, and that's why they dialed it back a bit. But I'm sure he could do like 1-2 matches a month on Dynamite, and then maybe do a pay-per-view, and then go to Collision.
Keep him safe.
What's that?
Can they keep him safe?
Of course not.
Hurt?
Of course not. Of course not. He's going to have no feeling in his arms and hands like he had in NXT, and he's probably going to have to go back in and get another surgery. But it's probably worth the risk for him to get paid $3 million a year, $2 million a year, something outrageous. Tony's going to pay him for a 2 or 3 year contract, and then he's done for good. He's got a wife and kids, lives in Florida, and
he better look. All I'm going to say is, I hope the guy doesn't get hurt, but the track record's not there. I did want to talk about one of the greatest tweets I've seen this week. There was a tweet out there that said, whose streak was more impressive, LeBron James or The Undertaker? And Eric Nathan at Barstool Nate said, imagine comparing some scripted bullshit entertainment to The Undertaker streak.
I saw that tweet. That was a gem of a comment right there.
That is tremendous. Way to go. That one made me pop. I had a good time watching that or reading that. There was news, though. This whole show is built on something on this guy named Ron on Twitter, if you don't know. And I'm trying to find it now. There was a guy on Twitter named Nick. I'm just going to call him Nick. I'm not going to use his last name because if you don't know, he's gone now, and I don't want you looking this whole thing up because of what happened to this poor bastard.
Is he off Twitter now? Is he gone?
He's gone. He's gone.
Twitter.
He deactivated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
probably his lawyer probably told him to.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But he put out there the now deleted account of MJF fan led to a wave of coordinated and boostment harassment on the 30th of May after Fightful tweeted that his company that he worked for at the time signed a top AEW star, which was boosted to over 500,000 views. That account that was following him and going after him suddenly left. It's gone now. That one's gone. It deactivated as well.
Sure.
This is all important because this guy, Nick, was later seen at a WWE PLE, the women's match, and he took his daughter.
For people who don't know, just give them a little, what did he do for a living, Don? Nick. You don't say where he worked, just say.
But he's an agent. He's an agent for stars, for people in Hollywood, for wrestlers. Like he's a talent agent.
McIntyre,
Punk,
Rhea Ripley, I believe. Yeah.
So this all happened. He goes to the WWE event with his daughter. They escalate. The bots and the troll army comes after him so hard that they start putting his daughter's school out there. They put his address out there where he lives. I mean, it got out of control, man. The guy, I'm almost positive the guy was having a nervous breakdown by the time he left Twitter this week. And who can blame him when they're targeting your poor daughter? If you're targeting a kid because you don't like what somebody says about your wrestling company, fuck yourself. Literally, go fuck yourself. You're a piece of trash.
Right. He originally got into it a couple of times with some of the AEW fans online. When it was brought about, when Meltzer was saying that Drew McIntyre is going to be gone for a while because he's shooting a movie. Remember that when that started?
Yeah.
Shooting Highlander.
And it was on TV like 2 weeks later.
Yes. Yes, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone for 3 months shooting Highlander with Henry Cavill.
So Nick, let's just go and say Nick's a smart guy. And Nick started putting some things together on, okay, this is all happening at once. A lot of these accounts are probably the same person. And he, from what I've seen online, I'm not going to get into the guy's personal too deep, but from what I see online, he had problems at work after all this shit happened. And they had a mutual parting of the ways is what I've read. But he's always intimated that Tony Khan had a direct impact on what was happening to him behind the scenes.
He insinuated that Tony Khan contacted his employers and made life tough for him there.
And this is where it gets really crazy. So he's up at like midnight one night, and he puts out a tweet of some sort of a hey, you know, I'm tired of this, and he tags Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, and the Jacksonville Jaguars front office. This is it. This is at 3 a.m, midnight his time. Immediately after he puts this tweet out, this guy Ron comes diving in on him, being slanderous and coming at him again. This guy Ron is a real piece of work, man. Ron, let me go ahead and put out some of the tweets that Ron put out there, if I can find them real quick.
Go ahead, read them.
I'm going to, if I can find them. Here's one of the tweets that he put. This is the kind of guy Ron is. There's literally no archaeological evidence of Jesus existing, and all documentation comes from after the mispropagation. There is a strong case for the existence of Santa Claus than Jesus. This is what this guy was about. I don't know if this was. We're going to get to this now, I guess. So,
Ron had a lot of anti-Semitic type posts.
Yes.
Anti-Zionist posts. Yes.
So awful friend of the show. Love Awful Wrestling put out there. Breaking news. Talent agent Nick exposes Tony Khan. And this guy, Ron, replies, obviously this is a burner, but it's pretty flattering to think I'm someone that high up, or even in AEW or wrestling at all. But I am close enough to people Nick knows to be confident enough to say what I've said. And everybody immediately was like, wait a minute, hold on now. Is this guy, is this Ron guy, Tony Khan? Because that was it. That was what was sort of intimated, was that this is the burner. Awful came out and said it exactly. And within 30 minutes of this hitting the airwaves, Ron immediately started deleting tweets, deleting his account, and wiping himself off the face of the earth. The other kicker to that is who Ron was following and who was following Ron. All of the regular heads, the BJ Bethels of the world, all those people, they were all following him. So it sort of tied back in together. And this Ron character, apparently Tony Khan mentioned in a tweet to, who's that one guy that writes? He's the ugliest creator or writer ever in the history of ever.
The who? The ugliest creative writer?
Writer. No, he's a writer. He's a horrible human being. David Bixenspan.
Bixenspan? He's a walking Petri dish.
Hold on.
Oh, my
Ron,
God. He's anthrax on 2 legs.
Tony Khan sent a public tweet to Bixenspan that says, hey, for what it's worth, Ron 582, whatever, has asked that you unblock him, and he's sad that you have. Who does that, dude? So that's sort of like the smoking gun. Like, why would Tony Khan go out of his way for something like this? That makes no sense on any level. Anyway, this all blew up yesterday. It was a real shit show. Just absolute madness after this all went off. Ron's gone, never to be seen again. And a lot of these other bot accounts suddenly started deleting themselves.
Yeah, one of Nick's last quotes online was this pro-Tony Khan account that posts things that only Tony Khan would know. Follow BJ Bethel and other Tony Khan's co-conspirators, rented tongue. Follow TK bot armies, is Muslim, anti-trans, anti-Jade Cargill, anti-all the same people as TK, immediately mass deleted his post and kicked his account down after I tagged, like you said, the NFL commission on Sunday night. That must have hit too close to home because obviously Burner, here's the actual, at Ron11479281. Reported my ex account to get it suspended less than 15 minutes later after I tagged the NFL. And I connected the dots here. But this guy's inside knowledge, if I got fired from my job 12 days ago, an anti-Zionist burner obsessed with pro wrestling and AEW, with close connections to Hollywood. Sorry, Tony, the VPN won't save you.
Good catch on that tweet. So that's it.
Yikes.
I mean, and then suddenly it all burns down. All of it just disappears. It all burns. All of it.
All of it.
That's way too much of a coincidence for me. That's way too much of a coincidence. And the bot army that has come out, if you've spoken out on this, is insane. They are irate.
And it's all like James 8675309.
Yes, it's all bots.
Matthew 14582. It's ridiculous. It's all first names, no pictures. They're all faceless bots. And I did a little research, and if you go to Google and say, hey, is it possible to buy deactivated Twitter accounts? Accounts have been deactivated for 5 years with all their followers and everything. The AI in Google will say no, but there are websites out there to say, yes, you can. They cost a lot of money. But who's got a lot of money to put together a bot army and burner accounts? Absolutely. There's probably a 500 million people on Twitter, would you say, around the world?
Oh, yeah, but there's got to be more than that.
He's probably 100,000 of them. Well, all the accounts that he bought.
So, yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way.
When he was a kid, he was parentally online, a man-child, a man-boy, a boy-man, constantly online, texting people, talking to people in chat rooms, message boards, all the way back in the late 90s. He was doing all this bullshit when he was a kid. Right. And that's what he's used to. He's used to getting everything he wants, never having to go out and work for anything, and just being on his phone or his PC, laptop, and shooting the shit with people about professional wrestling online. This is what he's used to. This is what he knows how to do. And he knows how to mobilize social media. He knows how to manipulate it. He's got all these orange-figured basement dwellers. All Cheetosexuals all fired up over this. And they were all going hot and heavy, mixed in with Tony's burners after Nick. And Nick just said, F you.
I know a lot of people have declared they're not going to watch AEW anymore after this, which is kind of crazy because it really pisses people off. I know Denisha was one. She said she's not going to watch anymore. People legitimately are like, this is stupid, man. Like, you're coming after this guy because he doesn't like your product. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
They've been doing that to everybody. Look at yourself. They were coming after you because you didn't like AEW. You found fault with it. They were coming after me. I posted the thing about Sky Blue, a grown woman, an adult, having a Scooby-Doo birthday party.
Ruby Roo.
Like it was a child's birthday party at Burger King. She had a paper crown on and everything. And the Scooby-Doo themed big birthday sheet cake with Scooby-Doo dolls and figurines and all that bullshit. I said, this is a grown woman. And they came after me with torches lit. They came after you with torches lit for some of the things you say. Blowing up Twitter spaces, as you've been known to do.
It happens once.
I'm not going to say anything else. But
so I wanted to cover that real quick. It's just absurd that that people take it to a level this far, coming after a child because they don't like your favorite wrestling program.
But the WWE 5 years ago set bot armies out online to go after AEW.
That's what Tony Khan said.
That's what Tony Khan said. These people aren't real, he said in an interview.
You know,
was it the interview where he's clean shaven, backed up against the wall with the tie, one in the glasses, going? I think it was in that interview when he said that.
You ever notice that it's always the person accusing the other person of doing shit that's actually doing the shit they're saying?
Yes.
Because that's how their mind works. They're like, well, this is how I do it, so I know they're doing it. It's not how it works, pal. Not how it works. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. Hit that sub button. I got one more quote today from Wrestling Observer, and I'm done.
Before you go any further, I want to just elaborate on what we were talking about, and I'll let you go. The reason why people hate AEW is because of the attitude of the owner. Not because it completely sucks, because of the attitude of the owner, the piece of shit owner of AEW. That's why people hate AEW. He's just, every time he opens his mouth,
Well,
and blows his own horn and toots up AEW and accuses people of other things like bot armies and stupid bullshit like that, and called Triple H and Shawn Michaels bald assholes and online and all that. You just think to yourself, this guy's a real a-hole. Now, Vince is Vince back in the day.
Hold on. Now, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because here's the issue. They demonize Vince McMahon, who no one's ever said is an upright, moral citizen. No one's ever said that. No one ever. But they treat Tony Khan like he is literally the angel of the angel. He's an angel. He could do no wrong. He would never do this. I got news for you. That guy's an asshole. That guy is a prick. He was born with the silver spoon in his mouth. He never had to ask for a damn thing. Right. Nothing he's ever had to do in life. Didn't just go to daddy and say, I want some money. That's all he's ever had to do. The dude's a prick. No one says no to him. And if you do, he puts you on a shelf, pays you out your contract, and doesn't use you anymore.
My God in heaven. My God in heaven. I can't wait to read these YouTube comments tomorrow.
And before you go into the comments losing your mind, I don't care what you think. If you're all about hate on the show, I do not give a shit.
Nobody
You're
really cares.
here. You're here. Enjoy the entertainment, pal.
Thanks for the click. Thanks for the view.
Exactly. Wrestling Observer said Billy Gunn on his best day isn't half the wrestler Kyle Fletcher is. Kyle Fletcher legitimately might be a top 5 to 7 in the world. Billy Gunn was never even in the top 200. And there goes Dave Meltzer again, toting that damn flag for AEW because Billy Gunn's on his way out the door. And we can't let guys leave without taking pot shots.
Dave Meltzer loves Kyle Fletcher, and more than a admirable way, I think. Kyle Fletcher speaks like, remember in Living Color when they do the skits Men on Film?
Yes. Yes.
He speaks in every interview like he's one of those guys in Men on Film. I just can't get that voice, that high-pitched voice out of my head when he's talking. And the pink suit and the Lex Luthor look with the hair gone. It just, he's very off-putting to me. He really is. You could have Paul Heyman managing this guy, and I don't think you could actually get him over as a superstar. I don't think you can.
I think you can, but you've got to have him out there with a mouthpiece like he has. And you've really got to work with that guy on his microphone skills a lot, because yesterday's a prime example of what the fuck are we doing with this guy. Prime example of it.
We'll get into that with the Dynamite review, but
the Friends angle is back. The Friends angle is back.
I'll be there for you.
Tony Khan cries huge ass tears.
I every time I hear that man speak, Fletcher, it's just horrendous. But Billy Gunn was a great wrestler. Now, when he was one of the young guns,
not so much.
Not so much. Bart Gunn and Billy Gunn. Bart Gunn is now languishing in obscurity right now. But
prison.
Billy Gunn, when he got paired up with the Road Dogg, and he became the ass man. Billy, I didn't hear you at all. What'd you say?
I said he's languishing in prison.
Is he in prison?
No, man.
Oh, shit. I didn't know. I thought you knew something. Bart Gunn got busted? Jesus Christ.
No. And by the
way, he was driving that car without a personality.
And one more thing on the people that hate on this show. If you're just tuning in or you jump ahead to where we start talking about AEW, we already shit on Saturday night's event, so go back and listen, assholes.
Right. Oh, you blow Triple H, all you do is you jerk off the WWE all the time. This is what you guys do. Well, screw you. Both companies have a lot of problems. And don't even get me started on TNA. But Billy Gunn made a lot of money. He made a lot of money. He made a lot of money for WWE.
Yeah.
It's all about selling T-shirts, merchandise, driving the ratings up, selling tickets, get people to come from their homes in to see the shows. And that's what these people don't understand.
But again, let's put it in perspective. Billy Gunn did a lot for AEW getting the tag team division over. He did the scissor thing that tag team when it was around. He was a big part of that. They had him in the group. He was a big rah-rah guy. I don't forget that, right? Like, he was a big reason that these groups got over. His sons got over because of him. They had some rivalries because of him. So to disrespect the man like on the way out the door is just absolutely, utterly ridiculous to me.
He's leaving. The man's 6 foot. Was he 6'2"?
No, he's like 6'5".
6'5". He's towered over everybody he wrestled.
Now, he might be shorter now because old age gets you, but I know at one time when he was in WWE, he was 6'5". Because when I saw Billy Gunn live, I was like, holy shit, that guy's a giant. He was 6'5", 270, and gassed to the gills. He
looked enormous in AEW with his sons and with Max Caster and the other guy.
Yeah.
So that's
all right. So let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
Go ahead.
Royal Rumble kicks off at 2:00 Eastern time this weekend. We got the Women's Royal Rumble. Who do you think wins the Women's Royal Rumble?
Liv Morgan.
I think you're right. Any surprise entrance into the Women's Royal Rumble? Oh, you don't care. We'll move on to the next match. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
Can you hear me? Jesus Christ. We went right by that. I think there's a lot of girls from NXT are going to come up.
I think so.
And there's going to be somebody from the past they'll get a shovel. They'll dig up Moolah, the fabulous Moolah.
I'm going to bury this. Yes. I'm going to bury this match. We're moving on. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. My worst nightmare. Do you think Sami wins this match?
There's no way. No way.
I hope you're right. I think he wins. I think he gets his moment in the sun only to lose at the Elimination Chamber a month later.
Hang on a second. I'm going to call out my bot army to go after you now.
I know. It sucks.
Unleash the hounds.
Someone come get this guy.
I can't believe you think that Sami Zayn.
I hate myself for saying it out loud.
He's going to win that belt.
When we're finished with the show, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to feel so dirty for saying that.
Okay.
I feel like I proved myself.
Moving on.
AJ Styles versus Gunther. You think Styles is winning? I think Gunther wins this thing.
I'm not saying Styles is winning. I'm saying Styles is not losing the match.
I hear what you're saying.
Yes. Where's he going to go? Where do you see him going? You see him going to AEW like Tommaso Ciampa?
No.
For a quick payday, a match or two?
No.
You see him going back to New Japan? God knows they need the help.
No.
You see him going to TNA?
No. I see him going home. When he is done with WWE, I don't think you ever see him in another match. Honest to God. I think it's over.
I think you might be wrong there. I think he'll come back for a match or two in retirement, but I don't think he'll be a regular player tied down to a contract anywhere. I think he's going to run out of that arena like Forrest Gump.
I think when this thing is over with, you're going to hear the Doors. This is the end. That's what you're going to hear.
You think he goes to TNA for a match?
I really don't.
Nothing.
No. Goodbye. It's been a great 20 years, 25, 30 years. I'm out of here, man. I'm gone.
And another thing he said to Nakamura in that he's got plenty of money. He doesn't need to wrestle anymore.
Yes, he's got tons of money.
Tons of money.
Now he can just focus on his health. Get better.
Rumor has it. He's going to do a podcast. God knows who'd have enough of those.
No shit. Why does Cody Rhodes have a podcast, man? That's like the one that irks my nerve.
What do you want to talk about?
You're in the business. What the fuck are you doing, man? Wait till you're retired and do this.
I like to talk about that thing that wart he's got growing on the side of his head. Get that thing lanced. You got all the money in the world. Get that thing chopped off, for Christ's sake. Up by his eyebrow.
Men's Royal Rumble. Men's Royal Rumble. Who you got winning?
Oh, man. It's going to be either Breaker or Reigns, I think. Ooh. Now, if it's Reigns, I think that maybe somebody will screw Breaker. And that's how you turn Breaker face. Maybe like a Logan Paul. Because he said was it Raw in a backstage segment, he said, we're going to do everything we can to ensure that Braun Breaker wins the Royal
they're
Rumble.
There to ensure he wins this thing.
Why would Logan Paul say that?
Who? Okay, I'm going to tell you what I think happens.
I think it's foreshadowing. I think they're going to turn Logan Paul either into a baby face by screwing over Breaker, or turn Breaker baby face.
I think your favorite wrestler. I think your favorite wrestler enters this. Your favorite WWE wrestler enters this and eliminates Breaker.
Of all time?
No, of this past year. Your favorite this past year.
The Honky Tonk Man? He's coming.
Seth Rollins.
No.
Yes.
You think it's a swerve? He said, I'm not going to be ready. I might not even be ready for WrestleMania.
I am so sure Seth Rollins is coming back for this match. I'm almost positive. If I could bet on that, I would.
It wouldn't have to be a match. He could just do a move and throw him over the top rope from behind. Blindside.
I think you're going to see him in this Royal Rumble. I think this thing ends with Gunther eliminating Braun Breaker to have the last, not Braun Breaker, but Brock Lesnar, to have the last 2 men in the ring be Roman Reigns and Gunther. And from there, I think Roman's going to win it. I just do.
If they build a WrestleMania match like they went to between Gunther and Brock Lesnar,
that's where I'm going.
And Gunther's going to be in the match.
Yep.
So he already said that. So it's going to be Gunther and Lesnar going at it in the Royal Rumble. Interesting.
That's sort of
what about Uba Femi? He's already in the Rumble.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see something develop between him and Big Black and Jack.
Powerhouse.
Whatever his name's going to be. Yeah, whatever his name's going to be.
Royce Keys. His son's name is Royce. That's why he picked that name. You know, they can pick their own names unless it sucks. Royce Keys. I forgot about Powerhouse Hobbs. You think he's going to be in the Rumble?
I think
that could be a surprise.
Think he's going to be in the Rumble. I absolutely
think he'll debut there. Yep. That would be sweet.
I think he's going to be one of the surprises. I think Roman Reigns is obviously going to be in this thing. I'm going to bet what's his name? The guy that Larry hates, son of a bitch. I already despise him. He's I want to say he was an NWA champion at one point in time. He was recently brought back for John Cena. It wasn't NWA. He made his own title. What the hell is that guy's name? The internet champion.
Matt Cardona.
I'm almost positive Matt Cardona is going to be in this thing.
Of course.
I think you're going to see the guy Evil from New Japan. He's going to make his debut. And I think you're going to see Joe Hendry in this thing. I think you're going to see that.
You know who Evil is?
I don't have a fucking clue.
He's the significant other of Io Sky. This is a favor hire, a favor employment opportunity because they like Io so much.
That's my prediction. I think I'm going to watch. I can't wait. Should be fun.
Did you see, speaking of Io Sky, did you see all the outrage from the episode of Unreal Season 2 when Io Sky ran backstage after her big match and jumped up in the arms of Triple H?
Oh, my God, yes. Jesus,
dude. And all the cellar dwellers were all up in arms about that because he felt the touch of a real live woman and not themselves as they Donald Duck it across the basement.
She's touching him.
They're dressed in a T-shirt, Donald ducking it across the basement.
Dude,
they get a bottle of Jergens and a roll of paper towels.
I saw these nerds crashing out just so hard. It was absurd. It borderline psychotic.
No employer should do that with an employee. This is so inappropriate. Who gives a shit? Did you know when he ran NXT, you assholes? They called the women down there, called him Papa H because he was like a father to him. You don't understand. The guy's like in his early 50s. It's hard for you to comprehend that.
Now, right?
The man's in his early 50s, 53, 54 now. He's almost a senior citizen. And these women, they're old enough to be his daughters. This guy's like 27, 28 years old right back. And don't get in the chat and say, well, she's 31. I don't give a shit. She's still old enough to be his kid.
Yes, it's people who look, here it is, man. This is the bottom line. People who have never worked with other younger people in their industry or had a job at all, most of these losers, don't understand that oftentimes you get a mentor. And that mentor means a lot to you in that work industry. Just saying.
I got a mentor. You know what she said to him in his ear? She whispered in his ear.
Me love you long time. Me so horny.
That's what she said. He said, Bruce, where's Stephanie? Where did you last see Stephanie? Speaking of which, did you see her hosting Saturday night's main event? Of course you saw her. You watched the show.
That was out of necessity because of the weather, wasn't it?
Yes. Joe Test couldn't make it. If TK could stunt CA with another 5 spot, if TK could physically pick up a woman, he'd hug them too like that. No, he can only latch onto a man like a koala bear, a baby koala bear climbing up a
where he's the guy
plant.
getting picked up.
Yes, he's the guy getting picked up. Right now he's being burped with a rag over Okada's shoulder. He's just burping. Right. Oh, it's okay, Mr. Tony. It's okay, Mr. Tony.
Hug me. I need friends. Anyway, we talked about Tommaso Ciampa debuting last night. I want to talk about it a little bit more in depth. Tommaso Ciampa said it's something
I've been leaning
towards for. Yeah, we're moving on. It's something I've been leaning towards for quite some time. I don't know that I could say there's one sole factor that led to cause it. I think it's one of those things where your contract is coming to an end and you naturally have discussions. You've been there for 11 years. It's time to shit or get off the pot, right?
Roderick Strong probably contacted him. They're good friends. Cole probably contacted him. They're good friends. And he said, look, Tony's going to give you $2 million a year. That's more than what you're making in NXT or WWE.
I don't think he's making that. I don't think he's making anything like that. I think he's making a pretty good living, and he's probably making more than what he would have gotten from WWE, and he's working less dates. And I'm happy for the guy.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is Tony Khan fantasy booking. He's got a fantasy booking boner for Tommaso Ciampa right now. I'll pay you $2 million a year. That's great. Look at all the other people sitting at home making over $1 million a year. Who aren't even being on TV. Britt Baker is probably making $2 million a year.
No, she is. You're out of your. Okay, you're sniffing.
What do you think she's making? What do you think Britt Baker was making?
$300,000 at most.
Oh, come on now.
I'm being dead ass serious. I really do. At most.
On her second contract with the company.
She wasn't a major star. She never was.
She was a women's champ. She was the focus of the women's division for the first 3 years of company. And then she fell out of favor.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I'm just spitballing here, but I know that guy throws out $1 million contracts like they're Pez. Okay,
he does. He is a Pez pitcher. Thank you, CSA. God.
The Stunska. The Stunska. Block Larry.
By the way, we mentioned last week. You mentioned Rey Mysterio being injured, and I wanted to talk about that real quick because apparently he does legit have a rib injury, and he wrestled on Raw anyway this week. What the hell are we talking about here?
Well, you can hide that.
He's got a rib.
It was a tag team match, and he doesn't want to lose that Royal Rumble payout, pal. It's a Saudi deal.
Oh, I know. I know that.
They all make big money going to Saudi Arabia. Don't let them all fool you.
Bitches in the ring coughing up blood. I'm fine.
Put a tourniquet
Just
on it.
Throw me the hell out of here.
Take me up.
Just throw me over the ropes.
Yes.
We put this off long enough. We got to talk about AEW. I didn't watch it till today because I sure as hell wasn't watching this live last night, and I couldn't put myself through it. They were in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeehaw!
And a building that holds 8,500, and they had 2,990 tickets distributed.
Oh,
Raw did a show. Raw just did a show where they had like 13,000 people in attendance. 13,000.
Buddy, you can't get people to go live to these AEW shows. The smell alone drives people out of the arena. The rats, when the neckbeards come in to see an AEW show live, the rats leave the arena. I'm not talking about ring rats. I'm talking about the rodent kind.
I know what you meant. Shout out to Where's the Rats, by the way, down in Australia. Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Kenny Omega versus Rocky Romero led this shit off. And within 5 minutes of this match, Kenny Omega dove outside and hit his head on the announcer's table about that hard and made the goofiest looking face at the camera I've ever seen. Acted like he'd been shot by a 45. Just, oh God, I almost didn't make it. This is your typical Kenny Omega match, but I'll give them credit. It wasn't long. That's the one positive thing I'll say about this match. It wasn't long.
And they both had pants on. And no fingers went anywhere in a gluteal cleft. Yes.
Now, during this match, they did say, and I pulled it up and it's been reported, Samoa Joe apparently got hurt in a training accident. Hurt himself training. Like, I guess he was working out and hurt himself badly. Like they're saying he's going to be out for an extended period of time.
Well, he's older. He's almost 50 and probably tore a ligament.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
he's got a ligament thing going on here.
I want to know if you saw this when Kenny Omega gets back in the ring and he and the ref have the most awful entanglement spot ever so that Rocky can get the upper hand on Kenny. Did you see this thing? Because it was god awful.
It was just the shits. It really was the shits. And it took this long to put Rocky Romero away, a man who's never won a match on American television. Rocky Romero. Well, he won a match back in 2015 in Ring of Honor. Nobody watches Ring of Honor. Back then or now. They had to hire Cornette to get people to book it, to get people to watch it.
It wasn't long, thank God. But I've got to ask you something. Kenny gives a
wet kiss to Tony Schiavone.
Easy. He gives Rocky a full Nelson suplex. And ever since I was a kid, it was called a full Nelson suplex.
Yes.
Why is it now suddenly he gives him a snapdragon? Why are we doing this, man? Why are we reinventing the wheel? Why are we calling suicide dives tope suicidas? Why this new verbiage are they trying to put out there? Like they're the new cool kids that invented a new word. It's the same shit. You're calling it something. A snapdragon doesn't even make sense for what you're calling this shit, man.
It's a snapdragon suplex is what they call it. And that all comes from tope suicida also. It all comes from the pen of David Meltzer, Demented Dave. And when he was writing the Wrestling Observer newsletter on paper back in the day, because I read all those terms back in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. I didn't know what the hell a tope suicida was.
Again, it's a full Nelson suplex. That has always been the name because that's the move you're in, and then you get suplexed.
Waiter, could I have a tope suicida, extra avocado, and 2 Coronas, please? And get my friend here, Don Wayne, a bucket of bourbon.
I'm gonna have a hurricanrana. Fucking
a hurricanrana.
Yeah. Kenny wins, no surprise. No. Kenny wins, no surprise. It didn't go 20 minutes, thank God. And then Tony Schiavone gets in the ring wearing a freshly picked banana tie and shoes to match. What was this outfit he had on? That's the only way I can describe the color of this tie. It's a banana when it first comes off the vine. It wasn't quite yellow and it wasn't quite green all the way. And it was bright as shit. You could see it from space.
Tony said in an interview after the show, he passed out in his dressing room. He was taking a nap and his toupee chose the outfit for him and dressed him. Yes.
Yeah. Dude, this was just, and even the announcers, Taz was like, who the hell's dressing Tony these days? It's just outrageous what he's wearing.
The light in the closet in the dressing room was burned out. That's all I can say.
It had to be,
Tony's
right?
defense. Absolutely. He's demented. He's demented. He's probably doing this on a bet, maybe. Tony, if you wear our shoes, the Young Bucks are probably, Jackson brothers are saying, if you wear our kicks out there in the ring, we'll give you a $5,000. But they didn't even. If he would do that, he would mention that he's wearing the Young Bucks shoes. So that's not the case. I don't know. Why does Tony Schiavone do anything? He sits there at the announce desk looking like somebody's taking a power drill to his kneecaps. He looks horrible.
You're convinced he hates life, man.
He died. Absolutely. He's probably thinking, came off my son's house, taking his job. My son never worked a day in his life. I got to pay off his house.
Way past my bedtime. Way past my bedtime.
I got a grandkid I got to put through college with this shit. This is the best night of my life. Motherfuckers.
You really despise Tony, man.
I hate that man with a passion.
Tony says he being Kenny Omega, is now a top 4 contender. He's a top 4 contender after 2 whole singles matches upon his return. How low is the bar in AEW where 2 singles matches get you elevated to a top 4 contender spot? What the hell are they doing in this company?
What about a guy that was in the company, left the company, went to WWE, came back to the company?
I'm going to get to that.
Left the company, went to fucking Tijuana, and came back to the company.
Because then he says, By the way, the winner of the Andrade Swerve match will face Kenny for the #1 contendership. The guy that you just said that hasn't even been here is suddenly main eventing this shit. He's going to be one of the guys?
He's one of the guys.
What the fuck is happening? By the way, hello, UK. Thanks for joining us. It's unbelievable, dude.
It's just, you can't even wrap your head around this. And meanwhile, Scorpio Sky is sitting backstage eating Jello pudding in the back at catering, just thinking, I'm getting tired of this shit. Spoon it into his mouth. Getting tired of this shit. People have been there from day one or just shit on for the new shiny toy.
Same company that when it started had a ranking system that they showed every week on what somebody's record was, where they ranked in the world title rankings. This is just bullshit.
And then the rating system went away for 2 years and then it came back.
And now it's gone again.
Now it's going again. There it is.
We just randomly tell you what's going on. I don't understand this. And then out comes Hangman. Hangman says Hook and MJF cost him, and Kenny will not be the one to stop him. It's going to be him that's the title. Then Swerve comes out to nothing but bass and shitty lyrics that I can't make out at all. It sounds like Mushmouth is coming through the microphone.
The original song that he had. The original song that
was
he
great.
Had
was great. You could understand everything.
I wouldn't go that far, but it had a better beat. It had
I could understand.
better melody.
But when he comes out now, it's just
that's him rapping, by the way.
I know
that's him rapping. That's him.
I know it is. And you can't make out a damn word he says.
No.
Oh God. Anyway, Swerve comes out and said he wasn't the guy that was pinned, calling out Hangman out of Page. Says he's going to be the next champ. Out comes Don Callis to say Andrade is winning tonight and he's going to win the title for the family. Kenny Omega says, stop his music. Stop his music. And then Kenny says, you didn't count on one thing, Don. I'm coming to get you, baby. And he just takes off out of the ring. And see. I wrote down if this is how this shit's starting, it's not going to get better. It's just
At least he didn't say, I bid you adieu.
Oh, well, that's true.
That whole spiel that he does, like people think that's his trademark. Hey.
We then get Statlander and Tickler recap. I said, oh, yeah, we get that tonight. I know Model said that was good. I'll take a look, maybe. Out comes Moxley. Moxley's coming out. And his boy Toto is sitting there holding his belt for him like a good dog.
Right.
He comes up and sees Footloose, who slaps him twice this time, not just once. Moxley goes walking by Renee Baguette, who's still doing her sideline gig, and they pretend they don't know each other. And she gives another one of these weird reports. Like, hey, turn around and talk to your husband. Hey, what are you thinking for the match? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to pretend like this doesn't exist. Like everybody and their mother doesn't know these two are married.
When he was going crazy, when he was beating people up backstage and rushing the ring every half hour on the shows, no one ever said, what the hell's wrong with your husband? What is wrong with this guy? What's his problem? How do you live with this asshole? No one ever said that.
By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notifications button. Super Chat's open. We appreciate your support. Out comes some guy named Ace
Austin.
Who's got purple hair. And I said, what the fuck is Grimace doing out here? Because that's what I'm calling him, is Grimace. Remember Grimace from Happy Meals? Fucking purple guy?
Of course.
In the commercials? He's Grimace from now on.
Okay. Ace Grimace. Grimace. He's Grimace Austin.
He's Grimace. There you go. Grimace Austin. See, I like it. Mox promptly kicks Grimace right in the face, and we get chops right out of the gate. They go outside, and this is when it gets funny. They go outside, and Grimace is sitting there waiting on Moxley to get closer so he can do an apron move, and Moxley just walks away. He just fucks off. I'm not doing this move, whatever you're thinking over there. And then you get the mass goof on commentator going, we're going to commercial. And Grimace is just sitting there like, is he coming back? And we go to commercial. And it never
Which
happens.
is the best thing. It's the best thing. Did you see Grimace try to kick him in the face and he missed by like a foot?
Oh, yeah.
And Moxley didn't even sell it. He just went down and looked at him like, what?
Oh.
You know what Moxley said
Anyway.
when he tried to kick him with the foot?
Footloose.
No, he said this.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
Oh, I had to say fast forward time. I can't keep watching this. Moxley wins with a double arm DDT. Suddenly, this is a move again that's effective when everybody and their mother was kicking out of it for the past year and a half. Why is this a finishing move again?
Did you see how low that kid's head was when he went down for that?
Yes, I did. Yes,
I thought that kid
Yes,
couldn't move, but somehow they got him out of the ring quick for the piece of business they were going to do afterwards.
I was a little nervous. Moxley wins, and then out comes Takeshita and points at the belt, and then fat ass Mark Davis and Dale attack, or Doyle. They jump on Moxley.
That's
Okay. It's okay. This is where we're going with this. Then we get Mark Briscoe versus some guy wearing an S&M outfit, and I said, where the hell is this going? Because I don't know what this shit is. This gets weird now.
Another guy who got dropped on his head in the match and didn't even sell it. He just jumped off.
I'm going to get there. Calm down there, Farlap. By the way, this guy's outfit, why was he dressed up like he was in Pulp Fiction in the basement scene? What the hell is with that mask?
You remember Hologram?
Vaguely, yes.
The masked wrestler Hologram that Tony Khan put together. We still don't know who's actually playing Hologram. They're keeping that quiet. Hologram was a Tony Khan creation of an original character.
I know that.
Well, what they did was they brought another wrestler up from CMLL, and they put him in the gimmick Clone. CLON, Clone. And that's this guy. As soon as they bring him up from CMLL, they get into a feud with Hologram. Hologram gets hurt and has to go in for surgery. He's out for half a year. And that's why you just see Clone.
Hold on.
Right.
You don't see this guy ever. Like I'm calling this guy S&M from now on because that's what he struck me as.
He's on Collision. Call him the Gimp. Wake up the Gimp. Gimp sleeping. Well, wake him up.
All right, we'll call him Gimp then. I like that. This was the match where Aubrey Edwards was just at her all-time worst. Within 10 seconds of this match even kicking off, you see her come flying into the screen like a bat out of hell. I mean, 10 seconds, and he found the live camera and jumped all over this bitch, man. She was awful. The crowd is as silent as it gets until Mark Briscoe chops the Gimp hard as shit, and the crowd explodes on that chop. And then they get back in the ring, and Aubrey Edwards, at one point in this match, did every Street Fighter II finisher she could think of in front of the camera. Just was, all of it. It was all there. You could not see this, man. It was horrible.
She's horrendous. She's just horrendous.
Then
she really
the fight
is.
Moves out. It gets worse. Then the fight moves outside of the ring. Does Aubrey Edwards stand in the ring and count? No. She gets out of the ring and follows them around. And then when Mark Briscoe gets back in the ring, she starts chastising him like he's a child.
Because she wants to be center shot. You notice when the two combatants are in the ring, she runs sideways to get right in the center between the two in the background.
Yes.
So she's always on camera. And then when she goes down for a count, 1, 2, dude, I have no idea why that chick is on TV. She is the worst of the worst. Just the worst.
Did you notice at one point in this match when they were throwing each other in and out of the ropes, she was literally like 8 inches from them as they ran by her?
Yes.
Was just here to the mic. She's watching them. It was insane. Then we get to the point where Mark Briscoe hits the J Driller on Captain Pervert, and he no sells it. Just bounces right up like you like you said. He no sells the shit and just jumps straight up like it never happened. I don't know what we're doing. I don't understand what's going on, man. How do you no sell shit like this? It looked amazing, and he's like, I'm fine.
Just the worst. Just the worst.
Mark Briscoe ends up winning in the end and says he's going to put his title on the line against anybody except someone in the Don Callis family, and out comes Ciampa, who kisses him on the cheek, slaps his ass, and goes backstage.
And the crowd went crazy. I will say that for Tommaso Ciampa.
The crowd was happy to see. And I'm going to just say it. I think this guy is going to work in AEW. I really do. He's more Tony Speed. Smaller guy, can work pretty well, can cut a promo occasionally. Not the best at it, but in this company, he's going to be like a gold nugget. Like shit, he's probably already top 8 in the mic skills in this company right now. Honestly,
I would say so. Yeah.
Anyway, we get backstage. We got Renee Baguette with Kyle, who faces Okada, who is holding the Atlantic title. So the title that they merged has disappeared, and he's holding the old Atlantic title, which is now the international title? Is that what it's called now?
I can't keep track of it all. I
have no fucking idea what he has.
I really don't even care what title he's got. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I don't like it at all.
I don't know.
Don't like any of it.
I don't understand. I'm scared. Someone help me. Help me understand what is happening with this title that bounces around like a damn ping pong.
I don't know.
Oh.
It just gets worse and worse. When you try, when you try to rationalize what's going on, the logic of the story, you just have to say to yourself, there is no story here. There is no story.
Speaking of no story, Okada apologizes to Kyle, and I have no idea why. I'm sorry. No, it was Okada.
No, it was Kyle. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Okada apologizes to Kyle, and I have no idea why. I don't know why he's apologizing. It must have happened to Collision where no one watches.
No one watches that. But then again,
by the way,
go ahead.
No one's watching this show either because they hid the ratings for a week because this show only did 498,000 people. And by the way, they waited until Ciampa debuted before they let that information get leaked, so they had some positivity coming out of this show.
Well,
that's
my friend,
why they did it.
The regular leakers did not leak that out because they want to keep it quiet. It was, I think the guy's name is Jim Alexander. He's an MMA wrestling reporter, actual reporter for news outlets. And he's the one who said what AEW Dynamite actually did in the ratings because they saw it. But the regular cast of characters, the cast of suspects, they would not come forward and say what it was. Meltzer, Sapp, and Brandon Thurston for WrestleNomics.
Anyway, MJF comes out, and here comes Brody King, and I said, nope, fast forward button. I don't give a shit about any of this, but I had to stop at one point during this and pause it. What has crawled up on MJF's head and decided to plant itself there? That looks horrible, man.
What have I said all along?
Shit. You have. I give you credit where it's due. Whatever that is, holy cow.
It is
God.
It's a $50,000 version of what Shivani's got on his head, but Shivani got his hair at a local bodega down the street from his house. That's where he got that from.
That thing looked like it wanted to crawl onto Brody King's back hair and leave with him. That's what that looked like.
It looked like it's a small version of Venom. It's just going to come out and completely engulf his body. like the comic book character Venom. I'm telling you, Punk, MJF, Shivani, probably a lot of other guys. Jericho, they're all wearing pieces, heavily glued down so they don't get ripped off in a match. Punk's got more hair now than he did when he was in wrestling back in 2016, 2015 when he was in WWE. He's got more hair now.
I still don't know about the Punk thing. I'm going to have to see some up closes on that one. I'm just going to say. But anyway, MJF and Brody King apparently are going to have an eliminator match next weekend or next week on Dynamite. So that's their big push now, is another eliminator match, which means they're going to have 2 eliminator matches now next week, right?
Yeah, because they don't know how to book anything. So it's going to be eliminator. And then you're going to have a tournament after that, probably. He's going to be in the eliminator.
Wait, but that's okay, because after this bullshit happened, we had a really good segment with the Bucks where they said, we're going back to our roots. We're going to start wearing tassels. You corny motherfuckers. We're going to wear tassels and have super kick parties. We're going to wear tassels. That's a real grown man said that.
Well, they probably think that people hate us now. We can't rebound from being heels and being changed to channel segments on these shows. So we're going to go and try to go back to where we started and embrace the fans that way. Maybe it'll be a nostalgia tour. They're about to be the middle-aged Bucks is what they are. They're almost 40.
That's why
There's
I just
no
call
young
them
about
them. Yeah, I don't call them young anymore. I just call them the Bucks.
Right.
I'm going back to my roots. Where's my makeup? What? What are we doing here? Then it happens. This is the match you liked. I'm not going to get into it a whole lot. Tickler versus Statlander. It wasn't a terrible match. I thought they represented themselves well. And you don't know why I thought they had a really good match? They didn't try to go a million miles an hour. It was a slowed down, controlled wrestling contest. No one tried to do anything stupid. I thought it was good. That's all I'm going to say about it. Statlander won, and then Timu Beth Phoenix came out.
Scud Bongson with the 5 spot. Thank you, Scud.
What's up, Scud, brother?
Not a lot of wrestling going on, regardless of what channel you're watching. It all just looks like a boring hodgepodge, guys kicking each other to me. Well, yeah, that's it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that on both ends, on all three. All 3 major companies, WWE, TNA, and, of course, what we're talking about right now, AEW Dynamite. Especially if you don't follow the product. If you just tune in once a month or whatever, once every 3 months, you get totally lost in AEW. You have no idea
here's the thing. Yeah,
who these people are.
I was going to say, you can't watch AEW on a semi-weekly basis, or you won't have a clue what's going on. I watch the shit every week for this show, and I have no idea why Okada apologized to Kyle. Have no idea.
And then you hear things like you'll hear the Japanese music play. It's Tenshu Ikazawa. And you have who the hell is that? Let me get my phone. Tenshu Ikazawa.
Google it, bro. You should know this guy.
Right. People, you have no idea who the hell they are.
Anyway, I didn't hate this match. I'm not going to shit on this match in any way because I really didn't feel like this was the best match on this show by far. Mm-hmm. They didn't try to do anything stupid. It was very controlled, the moves that they did. Tickler, by the way, she could sell her ass off when she wants to. She really can.
The Tickler's growing on me. The promos are rocky, pretty rocky, but the Tickler is growing on me. Then again, Statlander's not a good promo either. That's why they got her paired up with Willow and Harley Cameron.
Don Callis promo, who recaps that Takeshita's going to face Moxley and says Kyle should get the next TNT title. And I wrote this down because I can't believe this was said. Takeshita looks at Kyle, says, "You forgave Okada." And Kyle looks so sad. And Takeshita puts his head down and walks away. And Kyle's like, but... Oh, this is the bullshit friends angle that Tony Khan cannot get away from at any point in time. It always goes back to friends. Thank you again, Scud brother.
And then Tony Schiavone came up behind Kyle and said,
"Hi, Kyle." I just can't with this, man. I just can't.
Did you notice one thing about Callis? He forgot to put the lipstick in the scar on his head.
I did notice that last night. I was like,
Yes.
where's the scar?
Yes.
Glad you brought that up. I can't believe this. The two grown men don't act this way, dude. You forgive Okada. I'm so sad. Japanese sad face.
I go and forgive Low Plains Drifter.
It's just horrible.
He's not here this week.
Low
Plains Drifter. Oh.
We get Ricochet backstage with his.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this was.
Did you hear? Did you?
Is this not the worst? Is this not the worst segment of the show?
And did you hear that Light Skin Kingpin is his Twitter handle? That could be also Tony Khan. Have you heard that?
No. What the hell does that even mean?
That's a Light Skin Kingpin is Ricochet's.
Oh, you don't think it's Ricochet. You think it could be Tony Khan's burner.
It could be Tony Khan's burner because Light Skin Kingpin posted 21 hours ago after Dynamite.
I saw this. Hold on. And this is completely against the grain of what that account normally posts. Completely against the grain.
Exactly. It could have been Tony posting under Light Skin Kingpin and not realizing he's not posting under his own name. He said, thank you all for watching Wednesday Night Dynamite tonight. I thought it was a tremendous Dynamite tonight. If you didn't see at AEW on TV yet tonight, you can watch it very soon, coming up at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Mountain time, 10 p.m. Central time, 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Which is something that he never puts out. Like the one thing Ricochet does allegedly online is he just talks shit forever.
Right. Trolls people. Right.
So this guy, Jack Perry, I completely understand now why CM Punk despises this piece of shit. I get it now. I totally get it now.
Exactly.
Because the Ping Pong Express is working over Jack Perry. Two grown Samoan men are kicking the shit out of him. And this little bastard refuses to sell, will not sell.
No,
Every time they kick his ass, he's trying to hit Ricochet. Every time. And Ricochet kept screaming at him over and over again. Because let's be honest, Ping Pong's no better on the mic. What were you thinking challenging me? That's all he said, like 30 times. They threw Jack Perry into a table, a metal table that fell on him. All right?
Yes.
And he's still fighting. Like there's a point where it's like, what? Enough bad shit can't happen to this guy career-wise. He is a no-selling asshole, man. This was atrocious. I'm sorry. I don't like the guy, number one. Number two, this was bad wrestling. This is wrestling 101. When you've got two grown men kicking your ass, you sell. You fight for a little while to show you get the upper hand. That moment passed, and then you sell. This guy's such an asshole, dude.
Well, he's got nothing now. Marco Stunt's been gone a long time, and Luchasaurus is hurt again.
Yes, because why not?
Well, because why not? Because they don't know what they're doing.
Then we get O'Doyle versus fat-ass Mark Davis versus FTR. This fucking guy.
Fat ass Mark Davis. He just brings me a laugh every time I see him come to the ring all sweaty and hairy and fat. And I think of you saying, it's fat ass Mark Davis.
And
Jesus.
this thing, O'Doyle tore his bicep, taking a DDT on the apron. And as soon as it happened, you could hear him on camera going, I tore my bicep. And they went home immediately after this. And when this match was going on, the Cracker Clan interfere and cost fat-ass Mark Davis his shot at a title. And this thing it fell apart. I feel bad for this Doyle guy because he just got there. And he's already hurt for probably the next 8 months.
Already hurt. He's done for 6 to 8 months. He's done.
Now,
of course, he's going to get paid. Problem is, he's going to have 6 to 8 months tacked onto the end of his contract when he wants to get out of there. When he says to himself, while he's sitting home,
this is not what I was told it would be.
Right. Exactly. Maybe he could wrestle with one arm. Who knows? He can use a strong hand. Go ahead.
I want to make sure I'm clear on this. The Jack Perry segment was the worst segment on this show. The second worst segment was what I'm about to recap for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta.
This is worse than Kenny Omega.
Renee Baguette is backstage with Orange Cassidy, who says,
Yes.
dude, who says he has beef with Lice Boy because of his hair and his beard and the way he's winning. And Lice Boy just happens to be 3 feet out of the shot and casually comes walking into the scene.
Right.
3 feet away. 3 feet away. It's not like they shot back to an angle to where you see him walking down the hall,
right,
saying, "Do we got a problem or what's your problem?" He is 3 feet away.
It's not like
teach these people how to use a camera angle.
It's not like they talked about Lice Boy and then they go into another subject to give Lice Boy time to make his way down the hall to where they're standing and say something. It's totally unrealistic. But then again, it's professional wrestling. So you think this is the worst thing this company's ever done? Hey,
this is get ready for this shit. Like I said, Lice Boy comes in, who just happens to be off camera, talking shit, and then here comes Footloose. I know where she comes running into the scene, grabs Orange Cassidy by the hair, and completely emasculates him. If you saw this live, if you saw it when it was happening, I'm telling you, I don't like Orange Cassidy. And even I was like, this is bullshit. This should never happen.
right.
This should never happen.
But she is bigger than Orange Cassidy, so what can you do?
I'm going to give her that much. She's a big girl, but she's not bigger. Even he's a grown man for his size. That's a grown man size. It just shouldn't happen, Bottles. It shouldn't happen.
It should. I'm just poking fun at the whole situation. It's just.
Then, you think this shit can't get any more outrageous? Tony Storm comes flying in and starts screaming at Footloose, and I don't know what she's saying to her. I can't make out a word that she's saying. And then she tells Footloose, "You are in deep shit," which Footloose decides, we can say shit now? And she starts screaming back, "I'm in deep shit. You're in deep shit. I'm in deep shit." Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy then embrace and lock hands like you're going to waltz, like they're in a dance booth, and literally dance off the fucking camera. I didn't make this up.
If this was done.
This happened. This happened.
And they probably ate it up with a fork and spoon, the neckbeards. If this was done on WWE television, they'd be shitting all over it as soon as it came out.
Dude.
But I'm not going to say they would do it better in WWE, but hey.
I don't care
who could do it worse. Who could do it worse?
This was horrendous. This was horrible. Horrible.
Horrible. If you're sitting there in the crowd, watching it on the big screen, thinking to yourself,
I can't imagine what people that were watching this live were thinking.
What are we doing here? Why are we here? Let's leave.
Did they just waltz off the camera? But
Yes.
standing there like a sociopath, like she's going to beat up 5 grown men when the security comes. The whole thing. The whole thing.
The whole thing. Horrible. Horrible.
We then get Andrade versus Swerve Strickland. And I got to say, at least they got me with a surprise. Andrade wins, and I can't do this anymore. I can't talk about the show anymore. That was AEW show.
What about the girl and the phone number? You left that out.
I'm not even getting into that planted bullshit, nonsensical ridiculousness that it was. Come on. That just sucked. That was horrible.
I liked when it was over and Callis is in the ring and he's raising Andrade's hand and Andrade's talking to Callis and Callis is probably trying to, he's pretending that he's understanding what Andrade's saying to him.
I don't understand what this was about. I really don't. I'm so confused on what they're doing now. Andrade, who's been here a week.
Andrade's been here a week. He's now number 2 contender, number 3 contender for the title. Wrap your head around that.
I can't, man. I can't.
Wrap your head around that. Meanwhile, you got guys like Alex Reynolds. You've got guys like, I said, Scorpio Sky. You've got guys, even Sammy Guevara.
Even Takeshita. Even Takeshita.
Right.
I like that guy. Why doesn't he get pushed more?
Don't know. We changed our tune about it. Remember, we hated him when he came in? And then he got better. We started to like his work. Then you got MJF, who's...
And then he started getting mic skills and started learning English. And I was like, okay. But no, we're going to put him in a Torn Friends segment. I'm never going to dance again.
They should have played Careless Whisper. I mean, they're looking for... I don't know, dude. I don't know. I have no idea. But this is what it is. This is what you've got.
Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. Hit the notifications button. We'll be back in a week.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.